All right, in this chapter, we're going to talk about how to add a trade in to a deal. And this is something clearly you will most likely do in a dealership if you sell units or whole goods. And it's really important to understand the process. So here I have a quote. I picked a customer, I've added a unit, and now the customer has a unit they want to see how it could impact a trade. So let's look at that. To do that, I'll come up to menu, I'll click the drop down, and we'll see trade in here. And what that's going to do is first pull up the customer's garage. This is a customer that's done a lot of business with me. They've bought many units in the past, so I could pull a unit from here and automatically put it in. If this is a new customer I've never dealt with, I've never sold them a unit, what I would have to do is add in their unit here first, and then it would be in my garage and I could add it. In this case, we'll go ahead and we'll pick our brute force 450 here. We're going to trade that in. And what it's going to do now is ask us to add in some trade details. So if we have any additional information, maybe the odometer or hours in this case, let's say it has 25 hours on it, license plate information, what the trade allowance is. So let's say we're going to give them 8,000 for this. What the actual cash value is from our side, we think it's 9,500, and the payoff itself is in this case um, $0. We'll just keep it easy for now. We can say if there's a particular vendor. So let's say that we know this is our Kawasaki unit. Maybe it does have a payoff. Let's put a payoff of $1,000 in there. You can see it updates our trade-in value when we do that. And what I could do is come down and find that vendor so I know who I could make my payoff to on my trade. I can enter what I think my DSP is going to be. I can decide whether my trade-in value reduces the taxable amount or not. Know how that works with your business team, and then I could add in a description. And now here's where you have a choice. If you're just kind of working the quote still, what would the numbers look like? You just want to hit save. And that has not added the trade to your inventory yet. It's attached it to a deal. You have all the information. The numbers are worked in. As you can see here, it's in the list, but I haven't taken it officially on trade yet. And once I've done that, I can see down here, I have my $7,000. Now, I can say everything looks good. The customer saw the totals there. They like the deal. And now I want to definitely put it in my inventory. So what I can do is I can come back up to trade-ins. I can see my list here and we can see it's pending. I can click it here. I can open it up and I can say add to inventory. And once I do this, it's going to let me know I'm adding it. And this, I'll no longer be able to edit the model or VIN or trade-in value. So just make sure you have all the information set before you add it to inventory. Once I do, I click add to inventory. Here's again where I can update any information I might need to do. It's assigning a stock number in my sequence. If I wanted to override it, I could, and I could update the VIN if for some reason the information was input wrong or I needed to update it. Once I do that, I go ahead and hit save. And now I've went and added a trade to a deal. And as you can see, it's in stock in my inventory and it's available to sell right now if I chose to. So after that, it's pretty easy. I'll close this window. Again, I can see my trade values down here. If I go to look at my total amount due, I can also see my trade-in impacts related to my deal and my profitability. So that's how to add a trade to a deal or a quote in DX1.